Inflation recently reached its lowest level for the first time in more than 3 years, but it can still have an impact on your wallet. Consumer investigator Carice Jackman has how inflation impacts you and shares helpful information from the experts that you need to know if you're a homeowner or you're looking to buy a home.
Inflation has been top of mind for many over the past few years, but some may wonder how it affects their daily lives. Michael Neal with the Urban Institute in Washington, D.C. says you've probably seen inflation's impact reflected in your bills, from groceries to utilities to even higher mortgage payments.
When we're thinking about inflation, we're really thinking about prices, but not just prices. We're thinking about the change in prices.
Changes in inflation impacts the decisions made by the Federal Reserve, which basically has two mandates from Congress. One is promoting maximum employment. The other is stabilizing prices in the U.S. economy.
The main point is that the Fed is tasked with ensuring that inflation grows at a moderate pace that's consistent with broader economic growth that does not undermine the ability of households to buy the goods and services that they need.
The Fed Reserve's decisions also impact homeowners.
The most direct and intuitive way is that the Fed is increasing interest rates in response to higher inflation. That could increase mortgage rates as well. So all of this suggests that, yes, higher inflation could reduce your ability to save to buy a home. It could reduce affordability of the home itself. And it could increase the interest rate that you may have to pay when you actually purchase that home.
If you're looking to buy a home, Neal says it's critical to work with a real estate agent.
Continue to look to take in the information from multiple lending sites in terms of the properties that are out there. At the same time, continuing to find ways to put down payments that can provide a bit more equity.
And if you're a current homeowner, Neal says look for opportunities to refinance if interest rates decline, especially if you just purchased your home and have enough equity.
I would certainly look into options of a streamlined refi that allows you to kind of get around a lot of the administrative and paperwork aspects associated with refinancing your loan. That can be a quicker way to actually be able to lock in interest rates if they continue to fall.
So if you're looking for keys to a new place or just moved in, remember to pay attention to inflation. It could end up saving you or costing you money. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
Another important thing you can do is look out for when the announcement comes from the Federal Reserve about if they're reducing or raising their rates. That'll give you a good indicator on what steps you need to take next. Well, in our health news, the CDC for the first time is recommending doctors talk to women about pain management for IUDs. For years, women have described painful experiences during the insertion and removal of the birth control device. The CDC now recommends doctors to tell their patients that the local anesthetic lidocaine can be used in reducing patient pain. Now, today, Dr. Celine Gounder talked about a new device that could help make the procedure more bearable.
This is the old device, what's called a tenaculum. So it has these little hooks, sharp hooks on the end. This was used during the Civil War to remove bullets and to pull tissue during an amputation. The new device is already in use at Columbia University, Indiana University, and then a series of clinics, women's health clinics called TIA, are partnering with the company that makes this to train their providers.
IUDs are the most effective contraceptives available for women and are more than 99% effective at preventing pregnancy. Coming up on the news at 4, for the first time since being arrested, Dolphins superstar Tyreek Hill is speaking out about the controversial traffic stop. The story in just 2 minutes.